What's up, y'all? What's good? Welcome to the What Up Though Show. It's your boy Dame D.
And your boy E Skeezy.
We are back,
Told y'all, boy,
Freestyle
we gonna
Friday,
be
man. I want to
back in
welcome
the building.
each and every one of you guys back. We got a guest that's going to be joining us. Big Dog, go ahead and introduce yourself to the show.
Big N from the 313. What up, though?
What up, though?
What up, Big
Yep.
Ken?
What up, E Skeezy?
Chilling,
So,
chilling. You
Let's
Easkeezy,
know
go
get
how
it.
ahead
we
and lead
do.
us on off into the show. I want
Let's get
to,
it.
welcome Big Kid to the show again. We're gonna go ahead and start it off. It's Freestyle Friday. We don't have any specific topics. We're just gonna be going off the dome. But go ahead and lead us off, Easkeezy. I'm gonna make sure we can be heard though. We are
Yo,
live on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram.
I was tripping. I thought yesterday was Friday. I worked so much. Anyway, TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. Boom, 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 boom. Booyaka shot. Thank God it's Friday, boy. But yo, all right. What I want to start off talking about with, I want to give a shout out to them going in the World War funds. That's just you gonna do this over D or something?
No, go ahead. We good.
Okay, heard you testing. Anyway, I I say they went into the funds, so they had to distribute partial payments just so America could eat today. You know, a few people got on enough to uh, put some on the table, but I've been
Yeah.
saying this for a while though. I've been saying this for a while. Food stamps and government assistance is really to aid you to get on your feet. You know what I mean? But I know people, that been on food stamps since I was a kid and they still on them. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah, motherfuckers
don't
don't
wear
make
the
made
system
it a
out. Now the
lifetime.
funds been exhausted. That's like having a cast on all your life. No, your leg gonna be so little, it's really
Right.
shrinking you. The more you rely on it, it's shrinking you, it's crippling you. Because if you used to walking with a cane and somebody steal your cane, now you can't walk. And that's just what happened with these SNAP benefits.
But
They
let
was
me ask you
depending on
something,
them
Skeezy. I
so
don't think they're trying to
hard.
hear that right now. They want all their benefits,
Hey,
not
it
a
don't
half.
matter. The truth hurts sometimes. I mean, but this should teach us a lesson because they did give out some. Now you
Yeah,
have
they gave
to
out
ration them
half.
out.
Yeah, they gave out half of what
Yeah, you
they
got to
normally.
ration them
They gave
out.
out half of what they would get. Yeah.
Now think if you were
So yeah, give us
you
your
was
opinion on that,
already
Big Ken. What do you
straight
think
and
about the
budgeting.
government, releasing half of the benefits, to the people that's on assistance?
Well, I was one of the people that believed that they was gonna turn them on anyway by the first or either the third, because I felt like they didn't want what was finna come behind not giving us anything. So what they did to pacify the people is giving them half, and they did give a little bit more than half. Because I know somebody that got theirs, and they got a little bit more than half. So, hey, it's right on time for the holidays. Thank God for that.
Yeah,
You
well,
know,
most people get half of what they normally would get, but I didn't think that they would play everybody and do that. I thought that they would release, all the benefits, meaning that, um, you have children and families that's dependent on these SNAP benefits and whatever assistance that they have been getting. So half of what they're getting is not going to be able to cover, what a person is used to normally getting. You know what I mean? But I understand what Easkeezy looked like he having a few technical difficulties, but I understand what Easkeezy was talking about. Because you do have some people that have made a lifetime living off of being on assistance. Had no plan on getting off of it. It was a crutch that that they were never going to relinquish. You know what I mean? So what Donald Trump is doing is just trying to, you know, uh, is just trying to, wean people off this, welfare benefits. And I understand what Easkeezy was saying, but at this time, a lot of people was upset for even getting half of, what they normally get. But like you said, they better be thankful for getting at least half of what they
yeah,
got.
You gotta
And
go
I
with the
believe
old saying, oatmeal beats no meal at this time, because believe me, hey, that's what you're
And
dealing
I
with.
believe that's one of the reasons why they gave them out. Speaking of meals, like it's Thanksgiving and it's Christmas, so they gonna wean you off slowly but surely. Next month it might be a third of what they just gave you this month. You feel me? And then till it's nothing. That's how you wean somebody off of medication, allowance, or whatever the case may be. But
Right.
it was designed to help you get on your feet like for hard times, just like unemployment. You know, once you start getting that, it ain't gonna last forever. So once your last 3 weeks, you know, you looking for a job for real, you know. But a lot of
A lot
people
of people
just been using them.
a lot of people singing that old E40 song.
What's that?
I hope I don't go back to selling yayo to get
Right.
that
I
mayo.
hope I don't go back to selling
Hey,
yayo
A lot of
hey,
people too
to get
young to
my
know about that song right
mayo.
there. You know what I'm
believe it
saying?
or
Selling
not,
yayo.
believe it or not,
Yeah.
they
Hey,
Hey,
have
look,
all of that into calculation. What
for
they know
sure.
once they cut off benefits, they know people gonna get in the uproar. They finna beef up securities in Walmarts and supermarkets. You gonna see somebody probably walking around with a assault rifle.
But you
You know
know
what
what
I
a
mean?
lot of
Put down
people
the snakes.
haven't been bringing to the forefront is it's more Caucasian people on welfare receiving stamp programs
It's
more
more
than them than
black
anything.
people. It's more black people
no,
selling
and that's the fact,
stamps
Big King.
to pay their
It's more
bills.
white people receiving assistance than it is minorities. And that's a fact. So you know, that's one of the reasons why they relinquish half of the benefits. So you got
Right,
to understand that part too.
right.
Because if it was just if we were the majority, I'm
Oh, they
quite
wouldn't have
sure
released them.
motherfuckers will
They
be
wouldn't have
hungry
released them.
without half of their benefits. But we got a few people watching. I need for you guys to like, comment, subscribe, and share. It helps the channel grow. It's Freestyle Friday. We just chopping it up, talking about any and everything right now. We're just talking about how the government's relinquish half of the SNAP, the food stamps and the checks. They let
Snap
they provided half of what people was getting. So go ahead, Eastkey, finish. Elaborating on that.
Before we get off the SNAP benefits, I just want to bring awareness, like the What Up Doe show always do. If you think about engaging in rules of war, one of the first tricks in a war would be starvation. If you could starve off your enemy, cut off their food supply, then the next thing you do, you want to take away their power. It's all kinds of things. They throwing smoke in our face. You did you hear about the UPS airplane that went down? UPS
Yeah,
lost the
that was
whole
horrible.
airplane.
Yeah, that
No,
Yeah,
was
I didn't
you
hear
horrible.
know what
about
I
that.
mean?
So
And you
elaborate on
don't
that.
just
Easy.
lose no.
Enlighten me on that.
Nah. Well, UPS carrying a lot of cargo and packages. It just went down. They had fire trucks out there. It was so many people out there just to put out the smoke and fire. But it's like you do a trick over here and they don't pay attention to what's going on over here.
Right.
And it's deeper than what meets the eye. Is all I'm saying. But you never know what was being carried on that plane. You don't know what aid that was bringing in on that plane. And
Yeah,
all we gonna know is what they put on the news. And we don't have no news. Like say if the What Up Though show was a news channel and we told people the truth. We don't have that. So all we could go by is what they say. They could go on the
You,
news right
you
now
sound a
and
little
say,
choppy, E.
this man,
You
they
breaking
could
up a
go on
little
the
bit, but
news
I
right
can
now
hear you. Yeah. But no,
and say this
and we are
man,
we're
JJ,
underground news channel, for the for the peoples. You know what I mean? So we are somewhat like a news channel. We try to
no
put
doubt.
out and talk about things that the mainstream media don't talk about, and that's what we're doing here today. But yeah, man, it looked like East Keys is having a few technical difficulties, but it's a smoke screen. And I agree with what East Keys is saying. They'll have a fire. The plane went down over here. But on the other hand, it's some other shit going on your left hand. But yeah, man, I'm glad that they did release some of some of the benefits to the people. Like Big Ken said, oatmeal is better than no meal. You know what I mean?
That's it.
So sometimes you got to roll with the punches. And I want to ask both of you guys this question. Remember this. Remember when they were giving out where they were saying that the economy may come to a shutdown, and they was giving out free food with these survival packs. No one listened to that. No one took heed to those survival packs. And it may come a time when these SNAP benefits run out, them survival packs gonna come in hand. So let's talk about that, Big Ken. What do you think about that? Do you remember when they was passing those out for free and giving them trying to enlighten people on situations like this may happen?
Wait a minute now. Refresh my memory again. They was giving away what, D?
What the last 2 years you had programs where the government was giving out these like if a natural disaster happened, they were giving out food that would last you up to 30 days and things like that. A lot of people thought that it was a joke. They thought that that they would never need assistance or a thing like that. So pretty much it was a survival pack. It was for something like if a natural disaster hit, or you ran out of food or you didn't have food. You know what I mean? So I kind of think that was when they were doing that, they were trying to get people prepared, for a situation like this. If the government did come to a shutdown, and snaps and food stamps and things like that was not able to be passed out. Going forward, thinking back on when they had those programs out, when they were giving away free food that would last you up to 30 days, and people didn't take advantage. Give me your thoughts and your opinion on that.
I feel like they need to be giving that away right now. You know what I'm saying? We need that right now. Yeah. To be honest with you, that if they was giving away then, we need that now.
But that
they only gave us half. They only gave people half their stamps.
Yeah, but that ship has already sailed. They did that maybe 2 years ago. And the people took advantage of that situation. And I'm quite sure it probably wasn't our people who took advantage of the situation.
Yeah, I was just about to say, because I don't remember them giving me a survival kit.
Yeah, they were showing the commercials and talking about that.
You got one?
I saw them. They were out there. They were available.
You got one,
and people was not taking advantage of them.
I don't know, D. I just think that maybe they didn't send that out to the masses.
No, it was out there for much. I'm quite sure I can look it up now. And
so
be able to
what
show
you
where they were?
So what you
trying
saying
to get
is
prepared for
anybody could have
like
got it?
Say that again.
Anybody could have got it, and it was free.
Yeah, anyone could have gotten. All you had to do was just sign up for it, and they were giving them away for free.
I didn't know that, bro, because I would have signed up for that. I think that was a great program that they had out, and anything for a survival kit. If anything goes wrong, no food, no lights, no nothing. Anything helps.
Yeah, and
that's
it was
what
just
I
a
would
survival thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, look like East Keys is having a few technical difficulties. It's Freestyle Friday. I need for you guys to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Big Ken, what you got on your mind? I'll go ahead and let you, talk about some issue or something that you got on your mind.
Man, I'm just, it's Freestyle Friday, so I'm just, thank God it's Friday. You know what I'm saying? Thank God bless everybody that's listening to the What Up Though show today, that they woke up today and they having a good day. You know what I mean? And a good night.
Well, I do got something that we can talk about, since you don't have nothing else to talk, man. Let's talk about that.
I mean, them Lions. Let's go.
let's talk about that horrible loss that the Lions took this past
Yeah,
Sunday,
let's go.
against Minnesota, man. We got to get back to the drawing board, man. It was a lot of we were penalty plagued that game. It was a lot of penalties. We gave the offensive line looked horrible. They gave up a lot of sacks. I believe they gave up 5 sacks that game, and in the game before that, they gave up 4. So leading into that game, until this upcoming week's game, man, we don't gave up 9 sacks. Within the last 2 weeks with Jared Goff, man. So just give me your thoughts on that on that Minnesota game, man. A lot of people thought that it was going to be an early Thanksgiving. A lot of people thought we were going to be feasting on Minnesota, but what people fail to realize that the NFC division Central, to me, is the toughest division out there, and it has been for a few years. We're jammed up with a bunch of 5-2, 5-3 teams. You know what I mean? Chicago's starting to come on, and Minnesota just beat us. So, give me your thoughts on that loss that we took last week.
Oh man, it was a hard pill to swallow to watch that game. I was devastated how the defense was getting to the quarterback. I just felt like we must be missing some pieces on the offensive line because we couldn't seem to get no help for our quarterback, and I ain't seen that. So that right there, I just feel like we got to work on that right there before we get into these better teams that we definitely finna see.
Yeah, most definitely, man. Because once a defense get to Jared Goff, man, he'll have that happy feet, and and it's just not a good look, for the offense if the defense is getting back there to Jared Goff.
And
when
I don't know if
he does not play well.
Yeah, now this you just mentioned it, but this is what I was finna say. It also reminded me that he's not a running quarterback. He stayed in the pocket too long. If we had a running quarterback, he would have got up out of there and could have made something out of that. I just feel like we definitely got to get our offensive line together because of the type of quarterback that he is. He's not going to run. You see what I'm saying?
At all, but yeah, man, we just got to get back to the drawing board. Dan Campbell is normally great after a loss, getting the team back together. And that was a horrible loss, man. But like I said, it woke up. It should have woke.
But you just got to give it up to the team that we played. Also, they played a great game.
They showed up, man, and showed out. In Detroit.
That's it.
Like I said, a lot of people thought
in
that we
Detroit
were going to be out there feasting on them. On that last Sunday, but it was a good game. But look, our defense, and I looked at the stats from that game. We were able to held each receiver under 100 yards. We had a lot of penalties that game. We had that turnover from Montgomery was big because they were able to get a touchdown off of that, So we just got to go back to the drawing board, man. And
the refs wasn't helping us at all in that game. We had no help from the refs. They was called, I think, like you said, all the foul. They blew the whistle. We had more fouls in that game than the whole year so far.
Yeah, no, we set a season high in penalties.
I'm gonna say the
refs
what
lost us the game, man. Every time. They were on third down. We drew penalties that gave them first down that led to points, and that's what happened, Big Hen. But yeah, man, it was a horrible game. But now we get ready to face a Washington Commander team that's not
we didn't pick up nobody.
Go ahead, Big Hen. What'd you say?
Say it again.
No, I
didn't hear what you said.
We're getting ready to roll into Washington to face the Commanders this week. And both teams are coming off a loss. They're going to be without their quarterback this week. So we definitely.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, we definitely licking our chops. So we definitely going down there with vengeance on our mind. We get back from last year. Especially with them being without their starting quarterback. You know what I mean? So. Give me your opinion, give me your thoughts on this week's matchup with Washington.
Jaden Daniels had always been a problem for the Lions. He's not playing, so we better take advantage of it. I mean, that's what happens when somebody hurt, you take advantage of it. We're going to take total advantage of that. We're going to win this game. On to the next. We got a tough division right here. Like you said, we got all these 5-2 and 5-3 teams. This division right now is rough. our Lions is gonna have to be what they say they is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, most definitely, man. Look, after a loss, we always bounce back with a win. So, more
Yeah.
than likely, we'll go down there and take care of business and do what we have to do to get this win. Tomorrow will tell a lot from our team. They're without their quarterback, so we should be able to get a lot of pressure, on this backup quarterback. We should have a lot of
And
people
I
coming
feel
back
like
that
the
was.
defense that we faced the last game that we probably won't face another defense like that for a while. Them boys was coming so hard. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, well, you got to
So
remember the defensive coordinator for Minnesota. They blitz, over like over 50% of the time. You know what I mean? And it's normally it's more than that, but I'm just telling you how that's exactly how much, they blitz. So East Skeezy, we're just talking about the loss, that the Lions took this last weekend with Minnesota, and now getting ready to face a a wounded Washington Commander team this upcoming weekend. Give me your thoughts on last week's loss and, what we need to do to improve with the Washington Commanders this weekend, East Skeezy.
Well, first of all, I'm glad they getting their fucking losses out the way now. I'd rather them
that part. That
get
part.
them out the way now than when it's crunch time. They know it's crunch time, and they owe Washington anyway from last year. They put us out.
Oh, it's go
Right.
And
time.
yeah, anytime we see a team like that we owe, we always give it to them. I mean, blowout, just like we did with Dallas. They clipped us. We came back, blew them out. You know, but it's still early. Commanders
Yeah.
is still that team everybody slept on, but
Yeah.
they turned out to make it to the playoffs and advance as far as they did. So, but Detroit ain't trying to lose two back to back, no way.
No, we can't. We can't. Meaning that we got Green Bay right there with us, tied with us in that division. And Chicago is right behind us. You know what I mean? So we got to go ahead and turn things up. Get this shit back rolling. Like how we were. The second after the second game of the year. You know what I mean? But we'll bounce back. Dan Campbell is normally great. We're getting the team after a loss, getting a win. After that. But it's Freestyle Friday. I need for you guys to like, comment, subscribe, and share. We're talking about any and everything. Big Ken. Lead us away. What else you have on your mind? Or what else do you have to add? To this upcoming weekend Lions game matchup, I should say.
I just feel like the Lions gonna handle their business. Like he said, we ain't finna lose 2 games straight. I just don't see that happening. And the Lions is probably gonna get them. I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna say 10 points. We owe them at
Okay.
least that 14 points. I want to say 2 touchdowns, but we should get them at least by 10. It should be a good game. They still Washington, and the
Right.
backup quarterback ain't no joke either. But he not the other one.
Okay.
So
Well, that's what's up.
that's what I look at. It's a winnable game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We
So
the
We
Detroit
gonna
look.
keep
Lions,
it
man.
going.
Go ahead,
We the
Hey,
Eastkey. What
yo,
you
Detroit
say?
Lions. I don't expect nothing but the
y'all seen
best.
this? Y'all seen? We should have movie Mike on here. Y'all seen this movie
Bring him
called
in.
House of Dynamite?
I have not.
No, it sounds familiar.
Oh man, you got to check it out. Listen, uh, it's something that's going on. So this is one of the movies to take place, something that can happen in real life type shit.
Okay.
And a missile was coming at America, and then they launched a defense missile. For that missile, it's like shooting a bullet with a bullet. And
Right.
the first one they sent, it had negative impact. So now the missile's still coming. The president and all his staff, and they was alerting people, the special people, calling people to come to the bunker, and the missile was finna wipe out like 10.8 million people, Chicago
Mm.
pretty much, the whole
Right.
Mm.
Chicago. And you know, when you in the Secret Service or the military, you can't even call your people and say, get out of town. A missile is coming there, because that'll
Right.
create a panic. You know, you can't control if they call
Yeah, it's
somebody
kind of like a
else,
breach of
and then they
security.
call somebody else, right? And then they create a worldwide panic. So, and
Right.
then they didn't even fire a second defense because it was too far over here to where they wouldn't have got to it in time. So it's like they had to see who it was coming from. They had to find out if Russia had something to do with it. And the way we sent two defense missiles back over there, Russia and China, they raised their missiles like while we shooting missiles, you know, it's like if somebody shoot in a club, everybody gonna pull out. Like, what's up?
Right.
And then you had to calm them down, like, nah, that shot was an accident because the missile was headed towards us first. And
Right. Well, yeah, it sounds like
something
it's a
that can
pretty
really
good movie,
take
man.
place.
Sound like it's a pretty good movie. You know, that's something we said that we were going to try to do. You know, let's talk about pick a day where where we talk about great movies and a good movie. You know, so that sounds like a good one. What was the name of that movie again, East Keezy, so people can check it out? I'm definitely going to go look it up.
House of Dynamite.
House of Dynamite. So yeah, that's something that I'm definitely going to check out. It sounds like an interesting movie. We know how Hollywood normally do stuff. They normally put it out in the movies before they act it out in the real world. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, man,
Actually,
it's Freestyle Friday. We just chopping it up. I want to thank each and every one of you guys for sending out your thoughts and prayers. I had surgery earlier this week, still recovering from that, but the love was felt. So again, I want to thank everybody who sent out prayers and gave me words of encouragement and expressed their thoughts to me. But Big Ken, did you ever get a chance to watch that video that I sent you?
No, you was telling me about it though. What was going on? Did you ever follow up on it?
Yeah, I actually did. I did a show on it. You have a situation where you have a black man. His name is here. I'm going to look it up. Give me 1 second, and I'm actually going to show a little bit of video of that. But this is a black man who went down to Texas and bought acres of land. And went down there and he told this land. He bought this land and he told melanated people that if they were to come down here to Texas, that he would provide them with a house, $5,000 a month, for spending and things like that. So what's going on is the locals down there has realized what's going on, because if he's able to what he's trying to do is basically, set himself up to be able to have these, it's going to be a community full of melanated people, and with this community, it comes, there comes jobs and taxes and things like that, and money for living off this land, that now that the state and the government has tried to jump in and trying to block what he's doing. So basically, I got audio and video. I'm going to play that real quick. So give me 1 second. I'm getting ready
Hey, did
to
you
look
heard what I
that up.
said earlier? Say they can send us some tickets if they finna give. We ready. Let's go.
Right. So give me 1 second. I'm about to. Yeah, give me 1 second. I got
You
it
gonna
queued
give
up.
me
I'm
some
gonna.
land, a house,
Yup. So,
and some
but yeah,
money?
he's
Come
promised
to
to give
Texas.
people a house, $5,000 a
Land.
month for spending, in land, and then not only that, they're going to be able to vote. Let me bring East Keezy back in. They'll be able to vote. And pretty much take over this town, far as with the with the with the whole I'm trying to I don't want to I want to phrase this right with with rerunning the town with the with the votes and everything. But yeah, I got video I'm getting ready to play. So just give me 1 second and I'll let you guys see exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, East Keezy, I'm getting ready to share what we were talking about. Here we go right here. So I got it right here queued up. So Give me 1 second. Okay, here we go, guys. Tell me if you can hear it. All right, here we go.
Get enough members registered to vote there so that their candidates could win offices like county judge, sheriff, and commissioner. Well, it didn't take long for state, federal, and local officials to take notice. Alarmed by the plan, 2 state representatives, a U.S. congressman, and the local district attorney have all vowed investigations. Then on Monday, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton filed a lawsuit aiming to shut down the operation. The person behind the plan is named Malcolm Tanner. He's a charismatic but mysterious and divisive figure from Indiana with a big social media following. In numerous posts on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok over the summer,
I want to say fair use. I'm using this for educational and entertainment purposes only.
Promised people that if they moved to Loving County, they would get a free house and $5,000 a month. As of a couple weeks ago, about 3 dozen people had taken him up on the offer and set up an encampment. A dozen of them have already registered to vote. That might not sound like much, but Loving County has only about 70 residents. That means elections often are won with only a few dozen votes. So why would anyone want to take over an arid and isolated county in the middle of nowhere, Texas? Tanner wouldn't talk to me, so I can't say for sure. But here's what we do know. In addition to its tiny population, the other thing Loving County is famous for is having tons of money. Thanks to oil and gas taxes, the county government this year expects to collect about $1 million for every resident. Tanner's people have set up RVs and tents on an isolated patch of scrubland about a half-hour drive from Mentone, the county's only city. In his lawsuit, the Attorney General claimed that they were violating state environmental regulations. Ken Paxton also alleged Tanner may have broken consumer protection laws by promising free houses but not delivering, and violated anti-terror laws by threatening local law enforcement and oil workers. Tanner has yet to respond. If you want to learn more and stay up to
So that's pretty much it. You heard it from the horse's mouth. What's going on down there? They're trying to change the demographics of that town. That town is oil enriched. And the people that run that town profit from that. They don't want to see Dr.
like
Tanner. So give me your opinion. Give me your thoughts.
$1 million per person is what they're gonna be receiving per year for, I guess, the way that people was putting is that
those residents that's living in that.
So if you a resident, you should be getting $1 million. So he's setting you up to become a millionaire.
Yeah, so and what the people of that town, they realize that, and he's already like the gentleman who spoke, who was bringing that coverage to us. He said they already got 3 dozen of folks already down there set up.
Yeah.
So they're already getting set up. But the thing is that the citizens in the states, they're trying to block what he's doing. If you listen to what he said, they've already brought the feds in. They're trying to. They got lawsuits against him, trying to say that he has not thus far held up to his promises, far as providing the housing, and money stifling for the residents that he has down there, but it sounds like a great idea. It sounds like he's trying to, I'm not going to say manipulate the system, but take advantage of, a town where, where he can bring in melanated people, and be able to live off the land and be prosperous. So you guys, give me your thoughts, give me your opinions on what you think, Dr. Tanner. Is this a great idea or what?
Go ahead, E.
Is it too late for me to go? That's all.
Talk that.
No,
that's
it's
what I'm
not too late. The invites are still open. A lot of people are getting behind him. A lot of people need to do their research because, I think if he's successful at this plan, they're going to come out on top, because, that land is enriched with oil.
Yeah. They giving the people $1 million per person. That's what I heard.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm definitely gonna check into that, bro, because you know sometimes you might stumble up on something.
yeah,
You
and
are
it sounds like
down south, so I know you gonna check into it.
No, I'm definitely going to do my research. I'm definitely going to check into it, because I just recently did a story, and you guys may be able to remember that, where you had, a group of white people that bought land in Connecticut and was pretty much trying to do the same thing that he's doing,
Yeah,
but it's different circumstances, between the land in Connecticut and the land in Texas. You know what I mean?
but
It's
you know,
abundance of opportunity for Dr. Tanner and this group of melanated people to be able to go down there and be successful, and they're trying to block it already, but not once did anyone do anything like that in Connecticut, when they started an all white community. So just give me your thoughts on that, man. Why do you think every time that we try to develop land or develop something for our people, there's always roadblocks in the road for us?
we try to come together. That it sounds racist every time we speak about our own people, but we got to speak for our own people. Anytime we try to come together as a whole, it's just like Black Wall Street. We was minding our business. They destroyed that. They did anything that black people try to come together and say, "Hey, listen, we could do this. We could become bankers. You can come and me and trust." We don't trust each other to this day because I hate to say it, they made us like that. Because if we ever come together as a people and get ourselves together and buy and spend with our people, we have changed the world. We got people running our communities. We got other races police in our communities when we should be policing our communities and buying from our own people. I don't know. One day we'll wake up and figure it out. Maybe not in my generation or the next, but that's what I
You
hope
know,
for. Like
and,
Martin
and,
Luther
I,
King.
and I'm glad you spoke about that, Ian, because look, I brought you on today specifically, to speak about, this is the same thing that, and I can't remember his name, but you have, a leader in Africa who's trying to do the same thing, trying to bring, some of our peoples back home, and he's trying to change the mindset, in the landscape over there. You know what I mean? So, give people your thoughts and your knowledge on what this African leader is trying to do over there, with the land that he's building up. It's kind of pretty much, I'm not going to say the same thing that Dr. Tanner is doing, but, you have two black men with two great ideas that's trying to, uplift our people.
Yeah, if everybody ain't familiar with him, his name will come to me in a minute. But he's the youngest, one of the youngest presidents in Africa. And what he did was he got the people over there to go against the French people that colonized slavery over there when it was happening, and they was mining the diamonds and the gold. So what he did was he told them no more. We can mine our own diamonds and our gold, and he got them up out of there. They was promising them so much money. They was just giving them peanuts pretty much for what the billions of dollars that they was getting from the diamonds and the gold from there. So this brother is offering the same thing. This president, let me say that, he's offering that you can come down there in Africa with a trade. He wants you to have a trade. So if you a plumber, if you any whatever skill you got, a barber, he wants you to come and bring your trade to South Africa, and he gonna give you land, not just he gonna give you plots of land for you to build on. I don't know
Right.
about the money, but I'm quite sure all that comes with you coming. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Hey, my
it's,
my
it's
shit probably
opportunity.
finna hang up. I got like 4%. I'm finna say this, and I'm going piece y'all out. But look, I want to give a visual to why they keep us down and how they keep us down the way they do. Imagine somebody coming to your home trying to walk in your bedroom, and they just blow up a mattress and just start sleeping there. And then tomorrow they in the kitchen fixing breakfast, you gonna feel some kind of way. Notice ain't
Right.
nobody shutting down nothing in Africa. Africa is expanding, and you can't go to Jamaica and just do what you want to do because that's their home. But over here, they they feel like this is their home. They already stole it, claimed it, or whatever the case may be. So it was towns in Wilmington, all black. It was Oklahoma, all black businesses. And you see what happened to that. They feel like they don't want nobody coming in their house, setting up shop, getting wealth like them. If somebody came in your house stealing food out the refrigerator, you'll tell who did it. You'll want them to go to jail, all of that. And that's exactly how they treat us. I mean, they ain't gonna want to, like you said, the other town ain't getting harassed because I'm sure it's a bunch of Caucasian people or whatever, Europeans or whatever, and they gonna help one another. But we ourselves, we can't do nothing like that, first of all, because we don't come together like that. Second of all,
Yep.
if we did, when we do, they gonna want to shut it down. They don't want to see nothing of one color coming together to try to gain power. You saw the movie even, Wakanda. They tried to take their strongest asset they had, and pretty much they would have took over Wakanda, and they would have been slaves in their own home. But far as
Yeah, no, I
what my
agree with you
man
100%,
offering,
Easkeezy. And before and I want to say this, before your phone hang up, what we have to realize, what the African president is trying to do is great, and what Dr. Tanner is trying to do is great. But we must realize what once happened to Black Wall Street. We have to be able to build up a defense to be able to protect ourselves, our people, and this land that we're trying to develop. You know what I mean? Because what happened once again, can happen again if you're not if you don't build up some type of defense. And we have not done that yet. We don't have any type of defense to be able to protect our people from the onslaught of our oppressors. You know what I mean? So it sounds all good and everything. Hopefully, Dr. Tanner is pretty much depending on the government to do their job and to be honest and upfront. But at the end of the day, the past has always showed us that they will come in and bomb and destroy and try to take away what we try to build up. So first and foremost, we have to be able to build up some type of defense to be able to protect this land and these peoples out there.
Can
So
I
give me
say
you
this?
guys' thoughts on that. Go ahead.
I want to say this. It's good for podcasts, not only yours, D, but other podcasts out here for the simple reason that there's a lot of people don't know what's going on. People just they don't care and they just don't know. So
either
we
they
inform the
don't
people.
know,
We
they
inform the
don't
people
care,
what's going on. And I
or
pray
they
that we can
just
come
don't
together.
give a fuck.
That part.
Right.
I hope we can come together as the people and figure this out because that's the problem right there. We got to unite.
Look, it's like I'm gonna be honest with you. Fight for your rights. Don't let nobody treat you any kind of way. But the truth of the matter, it don't even matter because it ain't much we could do. We ain't got nukes and shit to play with like they do. I mean, we got
Yeah.
people that's prepared to go into bunkers and annihilate everybody on this motherfucker. So if it boils down to it, us versus them, we ain't got nothing set up like that. I'm sure it's some rich millionaire blacks that probably built bunkers or whatever, but they'll be overtaken. I'm sure they got cameras in the sky. They not letting nobody build that of color. They could see underground. They could see through walls. So they monitoring all building accusations. You got to get license and permits. You can't just secretly build a bunker in
Right.
your backyard. That's gonna
And
last
yeah,
you long enough
and you
to
hitting it right on
clear
the spot,
radiation.
Easy. That's what our people. That's what we have failed to realize. Living because we're still living behind enemy lines. So anything that we try to build
Yeah,
up, and try to prosper and make great for our people, it can
right.
be destroyed, by our counterparts. And that's something that
It's
we have
like
to
they
realize.
feeding us, but they don't want
But
us to. They
go
feeding
ahead.
us, but they don't want us to know the real plan and the real 411, when it boils down to it of starting all over, they already got that handled and set aside the calculations. We playing with people that have billions. I mean, billions behind billions, not just millionaires, billionaires. And when I say billion, you could say as far as 100 billion, and that's a lot of money to play with. They got their
Yeah.
ticket, they got their seat on outer space. They sending ships up. They probably building a whole nother Earth we don't know about on another planet that they said they found, and it had oxygen just as Earth. But hey, they ain't gonna tell us about the super planet. We can't afford to go there. Hey,
Yep. So,
so
for the most part, man, we just gotta, stay fast at the plan at hand. What Dr. Tanner is trying to do, I think is a brilliant plan. But we also have to look at reality and, remind ourselves of what happened, to people that tried to do that once before in the past. So we still can't let that defeat us. We have to still go on, and try to be the best that we can. Big Man, give us your last thoughts on that topic.
I just feel like a lot of people say, this to black people. Why do you reminisce about the past and what happened to you guys in the past? Because it still don't sit right with me to this day, and I will never forget the pain that my ancestors went through, and I still feel it. So it's like I will never go with what you saying because I know you ain't gonna never tell me the truth if it make any sense on what I'm saying. You know, I just feel like again, we as a people, we got to come together in some kind of way because we only 14% of America. If the
Right.
if the little 14% of America come together, we'll change America, and that's what they know. That's how powerful we are as black people. That I'm gonna leave that thought in everybody's head.
Yeah. And it looked like East Skeezy closed out, looked like his phone died out. But no, man, at the end of the day, I'm behind what Dr. Tanner is trying to do.
Most definitely.
He's trying to build up a community, melanated people and trying to uplift this group of people, and bring these people and try to raise these people up. There's nothing wrong with that, because like I said, we just talked about, a group of Caucasians that were doing the same thing in Connecticut. And you didn't
Yeah.
hear nothing about blacks trying to stop what they were doing or uproot, or have the state or the federal government trying to indulge on what they were doing in their community. You know what I mean? So it goes to show you that that we're always going to be fighting amongst our counterparts. We're always going to be fighting against this racism. We're always going to be fighting against our counterparts. So we have to do each and everything. We have to do any and everything to be able to, I'm not going to say separate, but we just have to continue to, get behind people like Dr. Tanner. Like I said, I'm going to do my research, look him up more. Because like I said, this was brought to my attention a day ago, and I just wanted to, bring it to you guys and bring this to the because the mainstream media is not talking about this like how it should be, and I think our peoples need to hear, more about black men like him.
I agree.
Yeah. So yeah, man, it's Freestyle Friday. We've been on for 48 minutes. I've pretty much covered everything I want to talk about. If you got something on your mind, Big Ken, that you want to talk about, go on ahead. You can go ahead and talk about it.
It was a beautiful show today. We done talked about a lot of things that was on my mind, and I'm always about my people. The Tanner guy, I'm definitely, like you said, I'm gonna follow him and see what that's about because I ain't saying I pack up my stuff and I'm on my way, but I am one of them peoples that, hey, if it's an opportunity and you giving away free land and you giving away money and things like that at a time like this, is always opportunity. So yeah, that's something that everybody probably need to look into and see what's going on. It's just not him. It's happening in Africa and all over. It's a lot going on. We just gotta pay attention. I'm gonna
Okay.
say that
And
Word
I
for the
couldn't have said
day. Pay attention.
there you go. And I couldn't have said it better. I see Monty Z got you right today. Got you looking 10 years younger. There you
Yeah,
go. There you go.
he did it pretty good.
Yeah, he got
Yeah.
you right. He got you right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, man, at the end of the day, like I said, I want to give praise to Dr. Tanner for what he's trying to do. He's trying to change the demographics, for himself and his peoples that he's that he's brought out there, so that's a good thing, when you have a group of people trying to change they're trying to change their environment and their structure, and just their way of living. So there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. So hopefully they'll be able to go ahead and build. Hopefully he'll be able to keep his promises. But by being able to to build homes for these peoples that went down there, and be able to supply plumbing and things like that. Because these people has issued lawsuits. They're looking to
Sound like
open.
he got a plan because from it sounds like if his plan doesn't work, it's a backup plan because if they giving per resident $1 million and you a resident, that means you get $1 million. Am I correct?
Well, I'm not going to say that. I think they said the state will be able to collect $1 million per person that's down there, and that
Okay.
meaning who's running the who's over in charge and running the show down there. It'll be beneficial to that. And that's what he's trying to set up. He's trying to set himself up and the people that he bring down there to be able to run, the politics and everything down there in that community. So all that money and funding, it will go to that community.
Right. And he can do what he said he can do if he get that type of funding.
There you go. Let me hit this.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah, and that's what he's trying to do, Big Ken. You know what I mean? I had to get at a drum roll. But yeah, he's just trying to get himself and his people set up and get them into the politics, into down there so they can control the demographics of the of that community. You know what I mean? Versus, them controlling what those group of people do. But man, it was a brilliant idea. Like I said, I advise everybody to look up Dr. Tanner, get behind him. It's always a good thing when we envision plans like that and we can bring it together and bring it into fruition. And he has done that. Like the gentleman said in the video I played, he already has over 3 dozen of groups of people that's already down there. So they're planning to go forward with this plan. They just need people like you and me to to be able to back them in this situation that they're getting ready to go through. But I don't have anything else to add, Big Ken. It's been a good show. We covered the Lions loss in this upcoming game that we got against the Commanders. Man, we definitely got to go down there and get a W. They're going to be without their starting quarterback, so we got to go down there and act a fool. I can see Hutchinson getting 2 sacks, Muhammad at least getting a couple of sacks in our linebacker group, just having a good game, man. And we definitely need to break this running game open, because key teams has definitely been trying to key in on stopping our running game, bro.
It's going to be hard to stop our running game. Like I said, you brought it to my attention, that defense was a Russian defense, and they proved it because I hadn't seen us under our quarterback under that type of pressure. I don't think we'll see that again. I think we're going to have, and I'm putting my money on it, the Lions going to win by 14 or better. I can see J-Mo. I seen J-Mo get that one pass, and that just opened him up, and you can see the smile on his face from that one bomb that he got. If we can get 2 bombs like that out of J-Mo and get our running game together, yeah, we good, bro. The Lions is the Lions. We still who we are.
Because the plans, the fans are going down there for a Detroit takeover. You know what I mean? So we're going to have the fans down there backing us up. I believe our sister, she's going to be down there. They're going to be at the game this weekend.
Okay.
So it's going to be a big crowd, a big Detroit Lions crowd down there. So we're going to take over Washington. We're going to get that get back. We owe them. This was the team that ended our playoff season last year.
Right. That was a horrible loss for us. We definitely felt like we had that one in the bag. And Jaden Daniels is he's an all-star for a quarterback, and thank God he ain't playing tomorrow. I'm just put it like that. Hey, we finna take full advantage of that and off to the next.
Yeah, and we got to take advantage of that. I would have loved to see him out there, ready to go. Because like I said, he was the guy that beat us. I would love for him to have been out there for us to, go out there and beat him, but he's not. So we got to go out there and handle business, man. And
because we didn't have our defense that we got right now. We played them.
I agree.
And defense.
Yeah, we was without a whole secondary.
Even with him playing, I believe the Lions would have dealt with him anyway. But it is what it is. Because if our quarterback was hurt, you best to believe they was gonna have a field day on us.
Oh man, listen. They was gonna be sending everybody, but best believe they still listen. They still after watching, they're gonna watch what Minnesota defense did, and they're gonna try to duplicate what Minnesota defense did last week. So our offensive line, we got to be ready, man. We got to go out there, and be on our A game and just get back to business. So like I said, Dan Campbell is normally good with, after a loss, getting the team back prepared, for the next game. So I don't have anything else to add to that, Big Ken. I'll let you lead us out with the last words. Let everybody know where they can reach you and what you got going on.
Right now, you guys can reach me definitely on Freestyle Fridays on the What Up Though show. Other than that, I want to say peace, love, and hair grease.
There we go. And again, I want to thank I want to thank you, Big Ken, for coming on to the show. It's always a good look when you come on and give us your thoughts and your opinion, and bless us with with your words. And I want to thank Skeezy. He was having a few technical difficulties, but it's been another one. It's your boy Dame D, and we are out.
Peace.